take it to these niggas real HD, real high definition. You dig? Watch. Yeah. Should I do for a living? Should I eat for a living? Watch. So I live for a living. Watch.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2. We in the building. This is another episode of the High Definition Podcast, and I'm here with my special co-host
Skywalker
in the building, and we're gonna try to keep this shit rolling today. We are sponsored today by High Definition Designs. You already know, new shit in the
You see the badge.
new shit. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I probably should have recorded this / posted this earlier, but we are in the holiday season. I'm not gonna tell you what the day is, but Thanksgiving just passed. We gonna say
Turkey
like
Day every day.
Yeah. So how you doing, Rob? You doing all right?
I'm doing fairly well.
That's good to hear. It's good to hear. What are you thankful for?
Life, my kids, all of them, including my niece and nephew, my kids that ain't my kids.
So your kids.
My family, yeah.
Your kids.
My family. I love my family life.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
What's up. I guess this is what am I thankful for, right?
I would go for it.
I'm thankful for being able to do this podcast. I'm thankful for my health. I'm thankful for my kids. I mean, I gotta throw them in there since you threw them out there. I love them little motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do without them little motherfuckers. I know that they're gonna cost me some money coming this Christmas too. But
dollar store all the way around.
that's a fact. That's a fact.
Just make it look like they got a lot.
But speaking of Thanksgiving, I've been told in my not the future, in my what's it called, the past.
Right.
I've been told in the past that I'm like what's that dude's name? Ebenezer.
Oh, Scrooge.
Scrooge, that guy. I've been told that I could be like a Scrooge type guy when it comes to the holidays and certain shit like that, and I can agree. I can attest to that, but I just want to say there's a reason for most of my Scroogeousness, or whatever you want to call it, my Scroogeny. There's a reason for all of my Scroogeny. It's not like I'm just fuck the holidays.
Yeah, why you bar humbugging?
All right, well,
Bar humbugging. We need to make a T-shirt for that.
that's a fact.
Yeah, bar humbugging.
If we want to talk about Thanksgiving, so I didn't always. Let's start from scratch. What is the story of Thanksgiving?
The story taught.
Yes, the story taught. The
Pilgrims came over, found the Indians or Native Americans that we now know they weren't Indians.
That's a whole different argument. But go ahead.
Yeah, so found them. The colonists were struggling to get fed that particular winter or fall or whatever was coming up. They weren't eating right, so the Native Americans came and helped them, get their crops up, and they had a big old happy harvest all together, and the rest is history. Now we got Thanksgiving.
There is some truth to what you said. There's a lot of truth to what you said.
A lot? Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of truth to what you said. I think everything that you mentioned happened, as far as we know, except for maybe the Plymouth thing. Did you say Plymouth?
I didn't say the thing about Plymouth.
All right. Well, let me say my version of the story that I was told in school type. So, like, fast forward, and the Pilgrims came over. They ran into some Indians. And you mentioned a very important point. The time they came over. I don't think that is talked about as much. I think if you have general information of Thanksgiving, you might know the time frame, but typically I don't think the time that they came over here is talked about enough, and that is important in what I'm gonna go to later. But so you're right. They had a hard time eating and finding food and stuff like that, and the Indians came and they helped and they had a big harvest, right? Is that pretty much what you said? Did I miss anything?
That's pretty much it. Basically it.
All right. So Now let's dive into some details that aren't talked about as much. And you can fact check any of this stuff. I'm winging a lot of this, but most of these are based around some facts. All right. So first thing I want to say is I think first of all the Pilgrims weren't called the Pilgrims. Let's start there. They had a different name. There were something with a P too. Now I think about it. If I remember, I'll put it up here or something. But they were called something else. They weren't, and I'm talking about
the religious.
Yeah, I'm talking about where they're from, and in the UK or Great Britain or whatever. Like they from over there, and over there they was called something different, and they didn't necessarily agree with all the practices and the religions in the area that they was at. So they wanted to practice their religion somewhere else. Or they wanted to practice their religion somewhere else because they were getting shunned and, fucked with practicing in their religion where they were. So they went to the king. I think it was King James, actually. No.
No, I want James.
One James? King Louis?
Man,
one of them kings. Went
like
to King. So I knew all of this by like the back of my hand at some point. But they went to King something, and it was like, yo, bruh, we ain't really rocking with what y'all rocking with. And we know y'all not really rocking with us. So let us just go over there and do what we got to do.
Puritans, by the way.
Puritans. I said remember the P. You're right. It's a fact. So the Puritans was like, yo, we want to practice our religion somewhere in peace, somewhere else. We're not disturbing what y'all got going on, and y'all not disturbing us. And the king was like, and I'm tired of y'all niggas anyway. Take them old busted up boats over there that we've been fucking trying to get rid of for the longest. Take them shits and go the fuck where y'all want to go and do what y'all got to do. And they was like, all right, bet. That's what we going to do. So they got on the boats. One of them was called the Mayflower. I know you heard that before. All right. The Mayflower was not really a traveling boat either. It was some busted up old shit like that. These is facts. Like I'm pretty sure they got in a museum somewhere. You could probably see a image of the Mayflower. But so they got the Mayflower and a couple other boats. They were in bad shape. They were fucked up. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, they went to take this trip and ended up coming back because boats is fucked up. Had to come back and fix the boats and then try all over again.
I didn't catch that part.
Yeah, but that's not an important fact. What's important is how many people went. It was like 100 something, 105, 110, something like that. It wasn't 200 people. It was 100 and something
that left.
And Puritans that left Great Britain. Was it Great Britain? UK? Over there.
No,
England. All right. They left England, about 105 of them, call it 105. And they went to sail for the new land, right? So they can find a new land that they can start fresh and practice their own religion and start trading and paying taxes back to England, right? That was the plan. Boom, they get over here after fucking up a couple times because the boats wasn't right, shit won't right, so we good now. A month or two later, after all the hiccups is done, they go sail for the new land. They get to the new land. One thing I don't think is talked about as much either, they landed in the wrong place. They didn't land where I think they were supposed to go land like what's
seems to be common among Europeans.
That's a fact.
That's 200 years before that. Columbus thought he was in India.
It won't 200 years.
Yeah, when did he sail the Ocean Blue?
We'll fact check this later, man.
It's 1492. I know.
I'm talking about when the Pilgrims came.
Yeah, Columbus came 200 years before them.
You might be right. You might be right. I know for a fact he was already here. He was up further north, but he wasn't at the time. Either way, that's not what I'm talking about. Stick on Thanksgiving. All right, so they land in the wrong place. I think they either landed in Cape Cod or they wanted to land in Cape Cod. That name that's stuck in my head for some reason. So they landed in the wrong spot, right? Got there, got situated, or tried to get situated, realized, A, we in the wrong spot. B, it's the wrong spot.
It's A and B.
All right,
you just
right.
That.
And C, I really didn't have an A, B, or C. It just felt like in the moment. So anyway, look, they landed in the wrong spot, right? So after they kind of got situated somewhat, they were like, yo, let's sail out to the right spot.
You were right about the Cape Cod thing.
Oh, all right.
They were shooting for the Hudson in New
The
York.
Hudson, that's what it was.
But they ended up in Cape Cod.
Okay, so like I said, I didn't research this. This
Yeah.
is like I just noticed because so anyway, I did research it at one point in time. But anyway, all right, so boom, they landed on the Hudson. Then was like, yo, let's go to the original spot, Cape Cod. For whatever reason, they wanted to go there. I don't know the answer to that. So
Bad winds.
they get to Cape Cod. I'm fast forwarding in the story to speed this up. This is where what you said earlier I said is important and it's not talked about enough. They get to Cape Cod, it's fucking November. It's cold as hell. Another fact that isn't talked about, which is why I said how many people by this time, it's about half the motherfuckers.
Like 50 of them.
Them niggas died. They couldn't make it. They weren't prepared. They got cold. They got infections. They fucking got diseases. They couldn't. They starved. They was fucked up. No one says that part. The Puritans, aka the Pilgrims, them niggas was fucked up out here in these streets. Like,
Why has God forsaken them?
that's the part that don't get talked about. Like, they was fucked up out here in these streets. And they were led on a dummy mission. Take them fucked up boats and go. Get the fuck out of here. And they did on a dummy mission. Get out to the new land at the wrong spot. Then come like straight dummy mission. So this was all bad for the Puritans. All right. So fast forward to. They get to the new spot. It's cold. It's November. Yo, we got to set up shop. It's about 49 of us now. Started with 100. And mind you, it was like male and female. Mostly males. But now it's about 49, 48 of us. And about 15 of them is women. So, like, it's rough right now. 10 of them is kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's tough out here in these streets. So now at this point, they get established. I think this is where that year comes into play. Okay. So a year goes by. Now another thing I read was they was like where they landed. I'm about to go somewhere else with it too. Where they landed was not landed. Where they went Cape Cod.
Yeah.
They landed or set up shop in an area that was already it was an Indian.
I think it was like the Wampanoag or Wampanoag.
Yes. It was an Indian tribe already, like, not there. They died. They weren't there. It was the graveyard. It's where they were at. They were on, like, sacred ground. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the Indians was on their ass. And I mean, on them, like, who the fuck are the motherfuckers over there on our... Who is that?
Wampanoag.
They on...
I don't know how to say that.
What? Yeah, them. They landed. They were on. So they setting up shop on the Wampanoag's land, and trust and believe they in the cut watching them. Like, yo, they really just gonna put a house up right there, right where Tin who was that? Like, that's so. A year goes by. This is when the famous story is it Squanto? What's the Indian name that everybody know? It's Squanto, right?
Not everybody don't know.
All right, there's a Squanto. Squanto is the Indian that can speak England and English. You never heard of Squanto or Tonto? Whatever.
Squanto sounds more.
There was an Indian that shows up, walks on the property one day, just walks up.
He was the leader.
And
actually.
Nah, Squanto ain't the leader. He wasn't the leader.
Okay. I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah, let me finish. Walks up, he's like, yo, I speak English and in Indian or Native American. Y'all made it? But yo, I see it was about 100 and something of y'all. Now it's only about 40 something of y'all. Y'all look like y'all need some help. So he made peace with them. He goes back to the chief. The chief don't really rock with them. Chief's like, nah. But Squanto is kind of playing the mediator. Okay. So he got the chief to be like, yo, they good people, they need help, yada, yada, yada. The chief shows up one day with fucking some warriors and some deers and some fucking fowl and all type of shit. That's the story of Thanksgiving. So they decided, yo, like the Indian people are good people. Like they was like, yo, we ain't really rock with y'all. Y'all ain't got no business here. Y'all fucking set up shop on our graveyard. But it's been a year. We watched y'all suffer for a whole year. You know what? we gonna show you how to fucking make some corn. Look, dig this shit in the hole, put this shit in the ground, you gonna get this. Do this, do that, you gonna get that. You know what I'm saying? So then either that happened or I'm bugging, that happened and then the year happened and then that was the feast.
Okay.
I might be mixing how that's coming into play, but either way, Squanto showed up, made peace, went back to the hood, was like, yo, they good over there, brought the hood to them. The hood came back with some, you know what I'm saying, all the party favorites, and then Thanksgiving happened, right? So they were celebrating a good thing. Like, yo, y'all came out here, foreign land, half y'all died, y'all survived, y'all still here, we're making peace at this point. Y'all shouldn't be setting up shop on this land, but cool. And so that's the Thanksgiving story.
I do want to point out that you were right about the King James. It was King James.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But,
So how we go from that to them being in...
Because there's more to the story. Go ahead, what you about to say?
Nah, how we get from that to them going to the concentration camps and
concentration camps.
I
They
mean,
was taking niggas' heads off.
like,
They weren't keeping them. All right, so cool. Look,
They gave them
now
diseases.
this is where Ebenezer comes in at.
He's an Ebenezer.
All right, even though I'm switching holidays and everything, but this is where my like.
Well, truth be told, that peace treaty. Well, they had an actual peace treaty that was written up and signed by both the Native Americans and the colonists or pilgrims or whatever.
They did.
That was actually done in April.
There's a lot of things.
April 1st, matter of fact. April Fools.
There's a damn.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
There's a lot of things that did happen. I don't want to go too much into it. Maybe we could revisit it at one point in time. But just the whole, like you said, the documentation of it. That's a whole different story. That's a whole different ball.
We're gonna start doing hood history segments.
Yo, for real, that might be a good segment.
Yeah.
That might be a good one for real. But all right, so at this point, the pilgrims are learning the land now. They're learning America, which wasn't America at the time. They're learning how, because you gotta realize they're from England. So like the shit that they grow, the shit that they eat, the shit that the atmosphere, the seasons, that's way different than it is over here in the new land.
Yeah, you don't put raisins.
You know what I'm saying?
Salad.
Right. They don't have they don't have all the same shit over there. So like I said, when they first got here and they was setting out for a new land, they might have came with some seeds that grow over there in that climate and the atmosphere that grows over there. When they came over here and they put it in this red soil, that shit didn't grow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's part of the reason they starved and they suffered. And don't get it twisted. A lot of them Indians probably wasn't just watching. They was...
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They had to sign a peace treaty.
Yeah,
you
so
don't sign peace
don't get it
unless
twisted.
people been fighting.
They was beef. Like, don't get it twisted. They was beefing. So like, they probably was the people who was cool and like, nah, we shouldn't. And you know, these are religious people on both sides. So it's like, but you got the savages too. You got the ones that ain't having that. You got the ones that not fuck all that. What they even doing here? And they on this like, so there was a lot of that. So anyway, the English, the pilgrims started, you know, sending for their people at some point. Like, yo, we got the spot. We know how it operates now. Like, just come down here and set up shop. So more and more came, and more beef.
There was also another religious turn. Evolution that was going on in England too a few years later, and then once that happened, like it wasn't called the Puritan movement, but it was something where they were basically trying to make the Church of England more pure because they were underneath the Roman Catholic rule for so long.
But the fast forward, I mean, they outnumbered the Indians at some point in time. And they did try to make all type of peace agreements, and they probably still have some that exist to this day. It's just outdated, but just like
they do, they just been violated.
Just like with any other large group of ethnic group of people in America, the laws don't pertain to you. You know, at the end of the day, the laws pertain to the people who are making them, and they typically don't look like the people that are subjected to these laws. And they made some type of agreements and shit like that, but it none of it. Fuck it. At the end of the day, they got more reparations than black people. I'm just saying it. At the end of the day, if you want to do your research, like it might not be the best thing, but they got acknowledged as we slaughtered y'all. Like America acknowledges that we slaughtered y'all, all of y'all, for the land and for so. I don't think they acknowledge slavery, but I don't want to talk about that. It's a whole different subject and comparison, but it's just not the same. But so yeah, they ended up like slaughtering most of the Indians. Like it wasn't peace. Like they took them out. Like, and at the end of the day,
the first recorded form of biological warfare was done against them when they sent the blankets with smallpox.
That too. They brought disease over here.
Yeah.
Like the
Pilgrims when they came over.
They didn't have no stuffy noses.
Yeah. The chief wouldn't meet with the Europeans for months before they were actually told that they were trying to work out this peace treaty. The reason why he didn't was because they were all sick, and he was like, "Nah, fam."
Yeah, y'all over here sneezing and shit. Like, what the fuck going on?
He probably
like,
waited to see if they would all die off first, and then like, oh, there's some survived.
Right,
I guess,
right. So, so like, and just like other continents and shit, like. They just came in on the coast. So like, you know, there was Indians in the East Coast and the West Coast, further up north, like, and that's why I don't know if you've seen that meme.
Hundreds of nations.
That meme that I posted on Thanksgiving with I said the original forefathers.
I didn't.
I'm gonna post it right here. The original forefathers, because they were chiefs that already but they already like ran the land. Yeah. They had sections, like, you know what I'm saying?
Nations and governments.
Right, they had nations, government. They had all of that already before the Pilgrims, any of them even came over here with that bullshit. Like
a lot of the American Constitution today was based.
It is. That is another fact. Like, and this is a fact. Look it up if y'all just think I'm just fucking rambling shit off. Like,
but they were the savages. Remember?
There's some shit in the Constitution that they stole directly from the Indians.
What was it?
Straight up.
What was their agreement called?
I think it has something to do with the peace. It has something to do with the peace treaty or something with that too. Like they just stole their version of it and like flipped some words and. But anyway, they ended up outnumbering, outpowering, outsourcing the Indians at the end of the day, and after they acknowledged it, and to acknowledge the fact that. Yeah, if it wasn't for y'all, it's not even like, yo, we took y'all out, we the higher power, and we just gonna celebrate y'all for that. It's not even about that. If it wasn't for the Indians, they wouldn't have survived. You smell me? You see what I'm saying? Like, so like it's ironic that that's the case. So the fact that they acknowledge the irony of it, they celebrate it. Thanksgiving.
There's a lot of things that get flipped.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like it's and then if it's like, what are we selling? What are you thankful for? It's like they're thankful that the Indians came to help them, but that might not even been the right thing to do.
Not on the Indians.
You know what I'm saying? Like
not on Native American side.
Like we should have just let y'all die. Like, but they didn't because that's not in their nature. And
but truth be told, most of our holidays are pretty twisted up.
That's why I'm Ebenezer.
That's why you're Ebenezer.
Yes, not because fucking I'm just want to be Scrooge, because it's like once you have a certain knowledge of certain things, it's like, yo, this is what I'm celebrating.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm teaching my kids, and this is like,
well,
and I don't really want to be Scrooge. All right, let me flip it real quick. My generation kind of lost touch of a lot of the real reasons that at least the black communities do as far as like Thanksgiving. Excuse me. Thanksgiving to me used to be just family time. That's when you go see all the fam, you travel, or fam comes to travel towards you. That's what Thanksgiving always used to mean for me. I'm going to see all my cousins from both sides, step cousins, like you're going to see everybody in one place. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's typically what it meant for me. But as I got older, and everybody got older, and everybody got more spread out, you lose that every year. Like every year, it'll be less and less people, or less. You know, at least in my family.
I feel you. That's a fact.
So, and then like when you when you get to a certain age, you start going to school, you go into college. Sometimes you don't want to go back. Sometimes, or you out of town, or you out of state. Sometimes it's like,
friends you want to visit.
Yeah, or it's like I don't have, or I don't have the money to travel, or I'd rather just be where I'm at the time and celebrate with them. So I think more of that has been happening throughout the generations, and I think that's what ultimately created Friendsgiving.
Yeah.
I think that's what created that. Like, sometimes you're not in a position to actually be around family like you typically want to. So, but you want to celebrate with somebody, or so the whole transitioning of Friendsgiving came into play. And I think at some point, either Thanksgiving should be really acknowledged as what they say, what's it, Indigenous Day?
Yeah.
Like, it really should get that, or
they should just get an Indigenous Day, period.
That's a fact, too.
Yeah.
It should be Indigenous every goddamn day.
But you know what? Truth be told,
in Indigenous land.
Holidays and reasons for holidays have been getting flipped for forever. I mean, we celebrate Christmas December 25th.
Well, most of it's
They don't
capitalism.
even believe that Christ... And that's
it's
what
capitalism.
Christmas. But Christ wasn't even part of. It's not even all about
Not
capitalism.
even his birthday.
Yeah. They believe he was born in like the spring or
it's
the
not even
early
his birthday.
fall or something like that. Because when they talk about like the shepherds, being out and stuff like that, shepherds weren't out in December.
It's not even.
It was too cold. I mean, and I put up a post today about the Christmas tree. Technically, that's a pagan practice.
They turn something that naturally happens in science and over time, daylight savings, into a capitalist thing. That was all about money.
That was about money. Yeah.
Come on, like.
But now, as far as the whole being celebrated during Christmas being celebrated during the 25th, they was to incorporate it with what's it called? Natalis? Is that what it was called? It was a Roman holiday where they used to get together and they would just feast out, and they would have these big parties and orgies and all kinds of stuff. But it was really popular back in Rome and everything. But when Constantine was trying to introduce Christianity to the board and was trying to get Rome underneath one rule, because they had everybody kind of separating and Rome was starting to fall apart, he incorporated a lot of pagan holidays and pushed Christian holidays in with it, just like Easter. We call it Easter, and it's supposed to celebrate the resurrection of Christ, but it's also set up around the same time that they celebrated the fertile, what's her name? The fertile goddess, Esther. And that's what pagans were worshiping. And it was so common at the time, he had to find a way to bring the people together. So, we're going to throw Easter on top of Esther, and we're going to celebrate the resurrection of Christ during the same time that we celebrate this right here. And a lot of it was actually based off of solar worship or sun worship.
You're right about everything you're saying. I'm just wondering, when the fuck are you going to mention the big fat white guy that comes in down the chimney in the middle of the night and drops off presents?
And who was actually Turkish to begin with bronze skin.
What do you tell your son or your daughter?
Oh, I don't tell them about Santa Claus.
Who lives in an apartment complex with no chimney and no fireplace?
You can't ask the wrong one. Like I said, we ain't grow up.
I've always wondered that. Like,
my aunt would say
get it. My kids ain't stupid. They know what time it is. But when they didn't, like, that's the first question that I would ask.
Did I rob my kids of that magic, man?
You know what I'm saying? Like, how if you don't have, why do we still sell the chimney thing? Why don't you just say Santa comes through the front door?
It's tradition.
Wouldn't that make more sense?
Not if you always locking your door. That still don't.
It's Santa Claus. He got the key. Santa got the key to every door.
He got a teleport machine on one of them cartoons.
Why don't you change that? Santa got the key to every door.
He got the Star Trek joint.
All right.
Beat me up, Scotty.
All right, that's enough beating up on the holidays.
We don't leave the holidays. Bye, humbug, all y'all.
To some more. Here we go. Is bad sex a deal breaker? Or / if he or she, well, in our case, if she doesn't do something specific sexually, is that a deal breaker?
When does it happen in a relationship?
Immediately.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a deal breaker.
What do you like? When would you find? When would you find that?
No, because
like,
sometimes sex can start out hot and heavy in the beginning, and then over time it just kind of it's like yeah.
Well, that's not what I said. I'm saying if all right, that is two different questions. Then all right, so let's just say
You're saying in the beginning, right?
I will say is bad sex a deal breaker? Could be just one single question. Because then you can say, if she doesn't do something particular, can you get past that? That's a different question. Because the sex could be good, but she don't want to do this one thing that I like.
Oh, that don't have to be a deal breaker.
That's what I'm saying. It's two different questions. So
Yeah. Nah, that's
starting with the first. What's that?
Huh?
So,
Gonna breeze pie that.
what is bad sex a deal breaker?
In the beginning, yes. If it's not good, I'm probably not going.
So you can't teach or
man.
critique
Teach.
or maybe try this or like none of that.
I'm good. Too old for that. You see these grays in my beard? There was.
I disagree. I don't think. First of all, I want to say what is bad sex, but I don't even want to define it. Let's just say.
I don't think you can.
Just say it's bad for whatever reason.
No, I mean, because what's bad to some might be good to others.
Well, you're talking about what's bad to we're talking about you. I don't care about anybody else.
Oh, bad for me?
Yeah, if it's bad for you, is it a deal breaker?
Yeah.
You say yeah. I say no. And
do I actually like this person?
And that's my point. That's my point. Because I've had terrible sex, probably the worst sex, with somebody I really liked. And and guess what the fuck I did?
Stuck it out.
I kept having bad sex.
Oh God.
But in the with the idea of it getting better and trying to make it better in the process, Did it
get better?
I didn't think it was always going to be bad.
Did it get better?
Yeah, it did.
Oh, okay.
Nothing exponential.
Nah, I mean, you can't expect but so much.
Yeah, nothing like but it definitely got better. It didn't get too much better though, and I mean, but I don't think it's. I'm just saying I don't think it's a deal breaker.
Would you do it again?
It's a whole nother question.
I mean,
if I felt for the again person the way I did the last, like if I had that feeling or more, yeah.
Okay.
If I didn't, fuck no. I don't think. But part two of the question. So, what if the sex is great, but there's something specific that you like that she won't do? And it might not have to be nothing weird either. Just something she just don't do. That's like, what? You ain't doing that? Why not?
Now
never?
That for me, that for me.
You ain't never gonna do it?
Yeah, that for me is not a deal breaker. But I'm be honest, I'll actually look at it as a challenge to see if I could get her to actually.
And then what if it never happens?
It could never happen. It's not a deal breaker though. But I'm not saying I would expect her to eventually do it, but it would. I'm competitive by nature, so in my mind, it's like,
so
what can I do to get her to switch up?
Where's the point to where it's not happening, and are you just? I'm gonna just keep doing it till it happens, or is there an expiration date?
Nah, if it's just one thing, it's one thing.
See, now once again, I'm not purposely doing this either. I disagree. Or I'm taking the opposite side.
He's totally purposely doing it.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I think that could be a deal breaker. If
one thing, so you're gonna take bad sex, but then you got good sex, and one thing is gonna be the deal breaker.
If you ain't,
that's crazy.
All right, so
Right.
what if your girl say I ain't sucking no dick? Never, not, nope,
Sorry for me to come like that anyway. So
That's not the point. If she
that's
says,
my point.
all right, well, that's a fucking deal breaker for me. That's not gonna fly. But see,
But I've also had some that
everything
say
else,
they didn't do
everything
that.
else
then
could
they
be
do-
great.
But see, I ain't gonna say.
But
that.
if you're like,
Obviously.
but if you're
They be lying.
if you're like, nah, all right,
What do you mean?
nah, I might try to convince you, I guess, but yeah, that like, all right, well,
I don't know. That's just I don't know if that's the only thing. Like if the sex is bomb, I can do without head. Like or
well, that's me personally. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just saying anything that you specific.
But see, and I'm gonna go back to my
Could it
my,
be a
my
deal
player
breaker?
days. This is the reason why I appreciated the time when I had multiple women that I was dealing with at the time. Because what one person they it's true. What one person won't do, the other person will. You know, there's another person that will. And what one woman
That's
wouldn't
too
do,
much work.
what do you mean that's too much work? How was it too much work? It was easy. My time was divided up.
So if I had a girl and everything was great, but she won't suck my dick, I gotta go find something.
You ain't gotta go find it, but
Well, that's what you're saying.
I'm not saying
you're
you go
saying that
find
you can
it.
always fill that void with someone else.
no, I'm saying I did. Like, not that I did, but there were different. Okay, for one, there's certain connections with people anyway that I've always felt. I don't always get the same connection with every single person. So
Okay.
like I could date somebody that liked to go see plays, might go to the opera or something like that. I could also date the girl that we went to the hip hop concert or to the rap concert, whatever. Or I could, I got my what I needed from different people and was just fine with that. And the sex was different too. There was some girls that liked it real slow and sensual and all that. There was some that just liked to get fucked hard on the darn floor as soon as you came into the door. There was some that liked that explorative stuff where you go out in the woods. And then there were other ones that just wouldn't have any of those. And then there was a couple that would just do it all.
You ever had a girl ask to eat your butt?
Not ask. I try it. It's not for me. It's not for me. I'm
You let it
I'm
do it,
weird
didn't you?
about it.
You let it do it, didn't you?
Nah, she got down there.
You
I was
let
like,
it do
nah,
it.
I'm too ticklish. I was too ticklish. That shit was weird. That shit was weird. Nah.
Oh,
I ain't
man.
gonna front. When she first went, I was like, oh, what the
I
hell
got
you doing?
a
Nah,
story that I cannot tell right now, and
How you gonna tell the?
it's a
How you gonna tell the? I like to broke the mic on her. How you gonna tell the people that and then not tell them?
because it's and that ain't never happened either.
No, tell her. You got your ass ate by the
hell no. Nah.
It's only gay if
Nah.
you put your legs in there.
That shit gay, period. That shit gay, period. I can say this part. I can say this. I had a discussion with a female that how can I say this? She didn't offer. She
She'll let you know she doesn't mind doing it.
yeah, maybe that's what it was.
All right.
Maybe that's what it was. And I was like, huh?
That's as good of an offer you're gonna get.
Nah, but it was nah. I didn't want that offer. It was like, why are you putting this on the table? Like, I don't want.
You know
that.
why she put it on the table?
Nah, man. I've never heard no shit like that before. Not like you ain't never. No, I ain't never.
Man, I
like
remember.
what the no. Like
My
you
young
ain't
days.
not once. You no.
Well.
I had nah. Ain't nobody ever. Nobody's never asked that. Like I'm getting defensive now. Like fuck is you talking about? Like no. Like this conversation is over.
I remember a Truth or Dare game, and it came out, and the girl that said she wanted to try it, she just said, and it wasn't to me, but it was during the game.
Yo,
in the
niggas
group.
can't be out there doing that, man.
And she offered it way before it was popular.
Niggas can't be out there doing that, man. I don't.
That's how you get bum bumps.
Bruh. What are you doing back there? What do you how do you even do it? I don't want to know how you do that. Like that's
well, it started off as oral,
but anyway,
oral.
The fact that it just
me.
came out like so, like yeah, you I'm like it was like yo, niggas just out here doing that.
Well,
like
everybody's trying to make everything acceptable too. They are. Come on, it's like the trans. Well, I ain't even gonna go there. Yeah, I am. It's like the transgenders getting accepted into the damn.
No, we're not going
athletes.
there. We're not going.
All right.
There.
The athletics. All right.
We're not going there. All right. So what's the next topic?
Everything's supposed to be. Okay.
You heard about the male birth control?
Yeah, he changed it up. Yeah, I heard about it, and I was for it until I figured out that the side effects were lack of libido and lowering your testosterone. Yeah, I read up on it. 'Cause I was about to go get it.
Well, you know what? That makes sense. Because if you have lack of libido and you lower your testosterone, guess what you're not going to have?
You're not going to have sex, so you get nobody pregnant. Yeah, I'm good.
I didn't know those are side effects. You know why I was like, fuck that shit? Because
you found out I was administered.
I thought it was a pill.
Oh, no.
They were like, oh, nah. We got to,
it's like a depot shot.
We got to hold your shit up, aim, and fire. Like, you're not putting no needle in my shit. Like,
I mean, I wasn't even scared of the needle.
I am.
I'm willing to go get a vasectomy. So
see, that's why I didn't do that either. Son, if that shit was a pill, give me 2 of them. You get 2 of them joints right there.
Yeah.
How much? Like, that's.
I mean, if it was a pill, I'd take that route too.
Son, you talking about getting a shot in your joint? Oh no, I can't do that, yo.
That don't scare me.
And then I heard it's like a big ass needle too. It ain't no little joint. Like I heard it's a big boy.
Yeah, child support payments hurt more. Trust me.
That was a good one.
Yeah, they hurt a lot more, and they last a lot longer.
That was definitely a good one.
Yeah, I'll take that 5 minutes over 18 years.
Yo, imagine it was a pill though. Niggas got like, I gotta take my birth control pill. Yo, hold on.
I wouldn't even say nothing. It'd just be pop every day.
Yo, what if
crushed up
that's
in my,
crazy. Yo,
my
what if a chick? Yeah, that's crazy, son. What if you about to smash?
You know the birth rate about to go down though. For real,
and the chick's like, "You on the pill?"
That is kind of funny though.
Yo.
Here's the thing though, people. Whether you for the pill, the shot, the birth control, condoms save lives still. Just because you can't make a baby don't mean you can't make a darn STD.
Condoms, yo.
I do too.
I hate condoms.
And that really helps stay in a committed relationship. It's like, oh, no, something new.
Yo, you know what's so whack about... Yo, all right, you know what? I got a good segue here. I got a good segue here. I was at work. I was listening to something. And dude was like, yo... No, it was a chick, actually. It was a chick. And she was saying how she'll never get back in a relationship. And I'm done right now. Da, da, da. She's older, too. She's, like, probably in her 40s. And I just came out of a 10-year bid. She was like, it's just like being locked up. And I was like, yo, that makes so much sense. I was like, shit, I just did a 10-year bid.
This is called being committed.
So. I was like, damn, yo, I was locked down and married for 10 years. And that shit is like doing a bid. Like, because when you get out of it, you don't know what the fuck the real world is about.
The world has changed.
Everything has changed. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, the fuck is condoms? The fuck are those? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just something as a very simple, fundamental idea that you should already know. Everybody knows.
Imagine you go into a relationship 10 years ago and now somebody asking you to eat their ass. Wait, what the fuck? They doing that now? No, I'm going back to my relationship. No.
I ain't say that. I ain't say that. It's like, yo, it's like, you know, you do 10 years, motherfuckers got new cell phones and shit. Like, We went from payphones to cell phones. It's like, I don't know. I don't know how much I can say without incriminating myself, but it's wild out here, man. It's wild out here, and I feel like I did a bid, man. And I'm out here and I'm learning the streets.
Yeah.
And the streets is wild, man. The streets is wild. There's some wild shit going on. And you ain't tell me that all this wild shit was going out here in these fucking streets.
You holding me responsible? I've been locked down more longer than... Man, please. Please.
I'm just saying, you ain't telling me.
I done did consecutive terms. How about that? I wasn't even out on parole long enough to...
tell me how wild these streets was out here.
I wasn't even out on parole long enough to learn nothing.
No, so, I mean, how was your first bid? Did you feel... How'd you feel coming out your first bid? Did a lot change?
Not really.
Not really, right?
Not for me. Like I said, the basics were all still there. So it's like a sport, you know. You just take it back to the fundamentals.
Y'all women out there eating butt is nasty. Alright?
You never know until you try.
Yeah, that shit is y'all nasty. Y'all some nasty nasties.
Sometimes you might need a nasty girl.
Nah, there's some ways you could be nasty. And you could get close to it. Not but
yeah, nah. I gotta smack you in your jaw.
But you know what I'm imagining, and I could be bugging, like, but I'm just like imagining, like it can't even be. It don't even. There's no way that you can even make it sexy. You like honestly I don't even see like. Fucking, I'm gonna say like I don't even like I didn't kiss the cheek, I didn't bit a cheek, but for me to be all up in the cheeks, nah, like that, nah, no way. And you know who fucked it up too? That chick that said eat the booty like gross, like she fucked it up too, cause now everybody think it's a thing, it ain't a thing.
Who was that?
I don't know. One of them new young chicks. Like she probably ain't even now. Somebody probably did do that wild shit to her, but.
Well, Trick Daddy was talking about it too. Eat a booty gang. You remember that?
He was talking that wild shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about no more.
Kevin Gates.
I'm done. Let's change. And we got anything else?
They got a cereal called Booty-O's. It's real too, bro. Nah, we can close out. I don't know. We should close out on that.
No goddamn booty. I was about to say it too. Damn, we want to close on some Booty-O's.
Booty-O's. On Booty-O's.
On Booty-O's. That's what y'all decided to close on, some goddamn Booty-O's. Oh man, that shit was wild though.
Thought I was joking. And it's $44 for a box.
Wow. Niggas will sell anything.
And then they put this is making us look bad. Make sure you put that picture up there so they can see how bad this looks.
Some goddamn Booty-O's.
I'm good, actually.
That's crazy.
Oh, Target selling it.
Man.
Bruh. Target is selling it. That's crazy.
But anyway, so, this has been another classy episode of the, you're not going to put my radio voice on. This is Johnny Brown, 25-9. You're listening to the smooth sounds.
Booty-O's!
Put my radio voice on. But nah, it's been another episode of the HD High Def Podcast, and we out.
Still need 40 minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna chop it up.
Booty-O's.
Goddamn.
This chick right here. Ooh, she made me sick.
I'm about to take it to these niggas real HD, real high definition. You dig?
Watch. Yeah. Shit I do for a living. Shit I eat for a living. Watch. That's how I live for a living. Watch.